Thanks so much to the organizers of the 20th Global Oleochem Summit for this opportunity to be here and share a few words on the peanut market.
Abuisa Commodity Brokers, connecting companies and creating business.
Last year in the same series, I gave you all an introduction about the size of the peanut market and Brazil's strategic importance to China. This year, I'm going to continue talking about these and also about some recent challenges that we have been facing here in South America. Well, first of all, it's important to highlight that the two biggest peanut exporters in this region are Brazil and Argentina, not only when it comes to the kernel, but also for peanut oil. In Argentina, it's the second consecutive year that the crop production is less, and there are many reasons for this. First of all, less planted area as production costs have increased, and secondly, dry weather conditions that have caused crop failure, resulting in the lowest yield of recent years, 1.86 tons per hectare, according to the Argentina Peanuts Chamber. Not to mention the various economic and political challenges that have been harming the country's agricultural and business environment. To put it into figures, the Argentine 2022-2023 crop is expected to be about a little more than 980,000 tons of initial peanuts, a drop of 30% compared to the last season. The volume for oil crushing is also expected to be reduced, around 15% less will go to oil crushing. This means a decrease from 61,000 tons to 51,000 tons of peanut oil. With this scenario, it would be natural for Brazil to gain more market share against Argentina, one would think, but Brazil is also going through some issues. The Brazilian 2022-2023 crop was a good one, although it suffered a lot with rains during harvest time. Market estimates that the initial production will be around 1.80 million tons, a drop of 1.1% versus last year. But the biggest challenge for Brazil this year is actually the commercialization of goods. Once farmers harvested the peanuts, they stored them because they were taking a look at Argentina's situation and predicting that the market could go up. So there was a significant appreciation in the price of the peanut sack. The increase is almost 45% in the average price this year versus last year. However, when we take a look at the oil market and other oilseeds, the situation is different. Since the end of last year, vegetable oil prices and oilseed prices have started to go down all over the world. At some point, clearly these would affect the peanut oil too, especially considering that its main consumer market, China, is still struggling in terms of economic and demand recovery after years of COVID-19 pandemic. And although peanut oil is the vegetable oil with the least reduction in price, it has already been reduced by 5% compared to the average price of last year. And just for comparison purposes, sunflower oil, its main rival, has decreased by 45%, but the sunflower seeds also decreased. Adding up to this situation, the average meal price in the Brazilian local market in this first semester also dropped around 3.22% compared to the same period last year. Peanut meal, as you may know, it follows the same trend as the soybean meal, and with lower demand from cattle confinement, who are the main buyers, the market has been suffering. This scenario makes it very difficult for peanut oil factories to continue crushing. Potentially speaking, Brazil could produce up to 115,000 tons of oil this season versus 135 last season, but it's hard to tell because some factories have already stopped working due to negative margins, others have switched to soybean crushing. As you know, Brazil had a record soybean crop, so it will be a challenging year for the peanut oil. My conclusion is that in order to have peanut crushers working again and peanut oil back to full strength, we'll need to see, first of all, the farmers decreasing the kernel prices, and secondly, peanut oil and meal prices more stable. Everyone is paying attention to the demand in the Chinese market and hoping that its economy can go back to better levels as soon as possible. This would certainly help the peanut oil. In the meantime, some other opportunities that are being explored are the exports of peanut kernels, edible grades. For this item, yes, the demand from China and Europe are keeping prices on an interesting level for Brazilian sellers. Well, I hope that you have enjoyed this brief overview on the peanut market. I thank you very much for watching. I'll leave my contact here so that you can leave your questions or comments. Feel free to contact me. Goodbye.